As dawn broke over Plymouth Harbor in the summer of 1588, Thomas Clarkson felt the familiar weight of dread settle in his stomach as rumors of the approaching Spanish Armada swept through the port like wildfire. In the Mermaid's Tail Tavern that evening, seasoned captains spoke in hushed tones of King Philip's grand fleet, over 100 Spanish galleons equipped with bronze cannons and thousands of soldiers, sailing to bring England to her knees. 3 days later, Thomas found himself aboard the Defiance, one of Sir Francis Drake's fighting vessels, as the English fleet prepared to defend their island home against the greatest naval power in Europe. The first sighting came with the morning tide, a forest of masts on the horizon, the dreaded Armada arranged in its crescent formation, their gilded hulls glinting in the sunlight like the armor of God's chosen warriors. Drake's strategy became clear as the battle commenced. The English ships, smaller but more maneuverable, would dart in to deliver cannon fire before retreating beyond the reach of the Spanish guns, like wolves nipping at the heels of lumbering bulls. For 8 days they fought across the Channel, but it was the night of the fireships at Calais that turned the tide. Blazing vessels sent into the heart of the anchored Armada, forcing the Spanish to cut their anchor cables and break formation in panic. But it was the Protestant wind, as they would later call it, that delivered England's salvation, a great gale that drove the scattered Armada north toward the treacherous coastlines of Scotland and Ireland, where many would wreck upon unforgiving shores. When Thomas finally returned to Plymouth, stepping onto solid ground with sea-weary legs, he understood that he had been part of something momentous, not just a victory at sea, but the preservation of England itself. For years afterward, he would recount the tale to wide-eyed children and nodding elders alike, how ordinary men in their small, swift ships had faced the might of Spain and, with courage, cunning, and divine providence, had turned back the tide of history. And as England grew into a seafaring empire in the decades that followed, men like Thomas, humble sailors who had faced the Armada and lived to tell the tale, became the backbone of a nation that would come to rule the waves for 300 years.